Hey, Ephraim, have you been on my laptop again?
Perhaps. I didn't do anything.
I highly doubt that, considering I have 50 tabs of Nyan cast open.
It's a good song. It's catchy.
Just go pull the next person, please, while I close out of all these.
All right. Here's one. A tiefling, but it doesn't quite look like a tiefling, I think. I'll pull him in. And there. Welcome.
Oh,
You're all glittery and sparkly.
oh, what? What is this? Is this another dream? Or did my father just send me to another plane again? Are you happen to be one of my fathers in disguise?
Well, I am not. I can't speak for Ashura.
I have been called Daddy in the past, but no, and don't mind the background music, I'm working on it.
I've never seen that thing before.
You opened another browser with 200 more.
This is a weird dream.
Well, you're still dreaming, but you're in the world of forgotten memories and dreams. And I am Ephraim.
Hi, I'm Ashura.
Oh, this is a strange place. Well, it's nice to meet you. My name is Umbra. It's just Umbra. No last name.
Just Umbra. Okay.
You mentioned before about my glittery skin.
Yeah, it's so sparkly.
Well, for a while, I never knew why I was like that. Because I grew up never knowing who my parents were. I was the only one, like, there were other tieflings like me, but they never had wings like me, or starry skin like me. I did find out who my parents were. I've met one of them, and I hate him.
Who is it, and why do you hate them?
Long story short, I grew up in an orphanage, had a couple of friends, Gleam and Reuben. Some mercenaries sieged the orphanage, took my friends, all the other children, killed all the adults. Mr. and Mrs. Stonebrush, they didn't deserve that. I missed them. They were the closest people that I've had to parents growing up. But it turns out the man who stabbed me, he had a big black beard with a black mask. He was bald. It turns out it was my father, my real father, who, turns out, happens to be a fallen angel. His wings were ripped off, apparently.
Mm.
And then my mother, I never met her, but turns out she's a devil.
So an angel and a devil.
Fallen angel and a devil.
I was a bit surprised. I guess that explains my skin, but thankfully I didn't die at that time. I made a pact with somebody called the Black Valkyrie, if you've ever heard of her.
I can't say I have.
I believe I have. I keep tabs on many of the higher-ups of the realms.
If this is some place where all forgotten dreams end up, or memories, what sorts of memories are forgotten? Like memories from different lands, worlds, universes?
You name it, we've got it.
Well, quite the opposite, isn't it? Because if he can remember it, then it shouldn't end up here.
True.
Oh,
So you don't name it, and we've got it.
We have many memories, places, people, things from different realms and times.
I've never been to such a place like this before. I've gotten forcibly shunted to the plane of chaos by my father because he didn't want me to tell on him for killing me, burning down the orphanage. Oh, almost killing me.
Are you sure Ephraim wasn't there if the orphanage was burned?
I'm not to blame for all orphanages that burn down. They're flammable, okay?
I've never seen a green dragon around there.
Right, well, he's innocent for now.
I have seen a blue dragon, though. Unfortunately, I had to kill it.
Oh?
Well, me and my friends, I suppose I got the killing blow, but it happened to be in the plane of chaos because it stole a crown from the frost giant's home, one of the cities, and the ice portion of the plane of chaos. There's a fire portion, there's an earth portion. I've never seen that one. And I've been to the air one, which I don't like that place. It was a pain to get up there. That's where we fought the blue dragon. But we were trying to find our way home because we got shunted to the plane of chaos. Me, my friend Peep, my friend Meliandra, who's grumpy, Vishara, Alith, Chris, a ragtag group of friends get shunted to plane of chaos by my father. In fact, we were dumped in the middle of the ocean, the vast ocean, and we were immediately assaulted with elementals. So that was not fun.
Never fun to hear hymns being played in the distance, especially when they're in Latin.
I'm sorry.
What?
Different kind of celestial, my bad.
So you had to fight them while swimming, or you could actually fly, I guess.
Well, about that, I was shunted underwater about 60-ish feet. As soon as that happened, they attacked us, and I was being held down there for a while, so it was hard to breathe. But then I remembered, at the time, I had a ring to help me breathe underwater.
What rig did you have?
Well, I don't seem to have it on me now. It was some sort of ring that let me breathe underwater. So, this place, I've had many dreams before in my travels. Some bad, some good. For example, there was this dream that I had, one of the good ones. I found myself floating amidst a vast empty sky, just flying, enjoying myself. And I don't get very many opportunities to stretch my wings. I mean, that's kind of a lie, but it's also kind of true. If there's a big open sky, I will fly. But when I'm with my friends who can't fly...
It's kind of rude to fly when the others can't.
Exactly. Meliandra, with her spellbook, she was grumpy, show-offy, and she would sometimes throw that flying spell around. She'd use it on herself just so she could fly faster. And I just say, at least my wings are natural.
I mean, natural tends to be a bit better, in my opinion, at least.
I agree. It feels really good. I just can't imagine not having them. It just feels strange to just walk around with not any appendages on your back.
Helps keep balance.
I bet they're used to it, to be fair.
That's probably true. Well, I mean, I can't fault them. They're still my friends, despite the grumpy Meliandra.
Speaking of friends, what happened to Gleam and Reuben?
Well, they ended up with my father, and my father spun a tale about him saving them. My friends were happy to be there. They didn't know, obviously. I wanted to tell them what had happened after my father just blatantly told me and my friends about what he did. He told me everything. He wanted to keep my existence either a secret or just treat me as I never existed, as if I'm some sort of freak who just shouldn't have a normal life. All I ever wanted was a normal life. I can't get that anymore. I know who I am now and who my parents are, and some form or another I have a connection to Aranyanya, a great dragon deity, the opposite of another dragon deity, Lohiktamar.
I guess that's what the song is about. Nyan, 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 nyan.
No, I'll put you in timeout once he's gone.
I think I hear it now.
Don't encourage him, please. I deal with him every day.
I'll try not to sing it. It seems to dig into my head a little bit.
But do you ever get back at your father?
Not yet. I still have a difficult time figuring out what I'm going to be able to do to him. Because he set up this sort of hollowed ground of sorts within the temple that we met him. So I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the temple itself or something that he did. But he was able to transport us instantaneously to the plane of chaos. So he must have been a powerful spellcaster. And I was just still getting the bearings of my power. I've made progress even up to the point where I was able to create black tendrils coming up from the ground.
Does that scare your party members?
Mostly just Peep, but he knows I'm generally good-natured. We're friends. I mean, maybe at first it may scare them, but considering the nature of the pact that I have with the Black Valkyrie, who resides from a place called the Pale. It's a very shadowy place. Lots of shadow creatures come from there. There's an opposite place called the Bright. Apparently, my friend Chris got transported from there. He just randomly appeared one day in a forest, which we were traveling in a forest. We were trying to find... That's a whole other tale, actually. I'm sorry to interrupt any questions you had. I guess I'll go off a little bit of tangent here. There's a little bit of an adventure that I had. We were hired to find... At the time, it was just me, Meliandra, Vishara, who was a druid with pink skin. Her animal forms just seemed very strong. Stronger than...
Stronger than a bear?
Yeah. I mean, she turned into a spider a lot. That was fun. I like spiders. We got Peep with me, Meliandra, Peep, and Vishara. Peep is a green kobold, and he sings these wonderful songs, and he's very good at sort of causing our enemies problems in combat, sort of like mentally, even halt their movements.
We used to have a lot of kobolds here, but Rue took them when he went out on his cruise.
Yeah, speaking of, did the kobolds in the trench coat ever find him?
The kobolds in a trench coat.
Yes, there are 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
All right. I feel like this is the start of a joke.
I think I've heard this one.
No, I'm sincerely asking. There were 3 that went after him.
All right. What's the punchline?
I'm sincerely asking. There's no punchline. What happened to them?
I guess we'll have to wait until next episode to find out.
Oh, wait, what episode?
Yeah.
Hey, from no breaking the fourth wall. That's a fragile thing. All right. I just finished putting duct tape on it.
I'm not seeing any other walls and just a cave. I guess the wall of the cave over there?
I think it's one of Ashura's figures of speeches. It's just one of those things that you'll just never understand, I guess.
Oh,
Don't think too hard about it.
I guess that's one of the many things that just mark off of. I don't even want to know or try to understand what's going on since I've been in this place. Especially that weird thing that's sitting there, that device that was playing some music on there.
That is a laptop. It sits on top of your lap.
Oh, that's very aptly named. What can it do?
Many things, but Ephraim normally just uses it to annoy me.
Well, I guess that reminds me of usually I was the one annoying people.
How so?
Well, I really like to talk to people. I love to paint, I love to draw, I love sharing my art. And sometimes I would also, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with asking too many questions. I mean, there was this one guy I saw in a tavern, I kept asking him why about some things. He was somebody that we needed to talk to, I think, but you're trying to get information on this one place that was holding cursed magic items. But he was being kind of stubborn, so I just wanted to prod him a little bit. But apparently I was being annoying, and I just wanted to be nice to him, and I wanted to be his friend. He was not happy about me asking him and prodding him, so I asked him why. He said I was annoying. And then Meliandra said, well, she kind of agreed, which kind of hurt a little bit, but...
Better to be honest.
Yeah, that's Meliandra for you. She's brutally honest all the time.
As a true friend should be.
I mean, I hope she considered me her friend. She had her soft moments, but very rarely did she ever show those moments. She could be caring. She had moments, but I remember there was a very sad part. We were traveling on our way to Lannick to return. That's how I found out the information. But before that, we traveled to a place, this town was overwhelmed with shadow creatures and undead. The town was in ruins. That's where her friend was last seen. So we traveled there. We found out that there was a portal that was opening in some sort of cave. I don't remember how it opened, but we did eventually close it, but it turns out that her friend had long been killed in the struggle to fight against these shadow creatures.
Mm.
So I wish I could have been able to console her, but she's not the type to have direct consolation. The moment I would try to talk to her, she would just turn me away, and she threatened to stab me again. I mean, she stabbed me once before, but my mind wasn't right at the time. That was when I was trying to open this jar. Apparently it did very bad things if I opened it. Apparently it could have killed us. That moment was in the forest, but the town was a different adventure entirely. So from there we had more adventures, one even involving a giant illusory crab. Apparently they were doing this because they wanted to loot passing by ships. We ended up having to kill them, sadly. I've struggled with the notion of killing people. The first person I killed was, I don't know if I would call them a person. I mean, they were possessed by this dagger. They were like covered in these warts. It was disgusting. And I found out that the dagger was the reason for this. These were the people that were hoarding all those cursed items that we found, which turned out to belong to a big old crime boss. And we stole them, we destroyed some of them, and the crime boss was not happy. Let me tell you about my other friends. I mentioned Meliandra, I mentioned Vishara, I mentioned Peep. There are 2 others I didn't mention. yet, because we were on our way to the forest. We were hired to find this creature called a Whoopertinger, which is apparently a rabbit with antlers and with wings. Not to be confused with a Tinger Whooper, which is apparently a very deadly giraffe creature.
A Tingo Whooper is a deadly giraffe?
That's what I was told. I drew a sketch of it. I don't have it on me, but
How are giraffes deadly? Other than just being whipped by their neck.
Yeah, that's a long neck, though.
True.
maybe it has spikes on it. Maybe it's like a giant flail.
That would honestly be interesting to see. I would love to see the composite sketch you have.
I wish let me look through my pouch. Oh no, it's back. Oh,
Another time then.
if I ever see anybody again, maybe in some sort of tavern, whatever, I don't know. But
Yeah, this sounds like a bit of foreshadowing.
foreshadowing.
Hey, from you're shaking the fourth wall again.
Fourth wall again. I'm not going to try to comprehend it. But anyways, we were finding a Whoopertinger. Along the way, we went into this forest. And we met this person, this young girl, who happened to be sort of living with a hag. And this hag ended up being one of the least liked person that we've ever met or ran across. Because she didn't like us being in there. We wanted to find this Whoopertinger. And our destination was beyond the forest. So there was only one way to go. And she wasn't happy. And then when we came back and visited her, she tried to curse us. So we intended to go kind of confront her, maybe kill her.
Well, that seems like a leap and a bound.
The idea wasn't mine wholly. I just kind of wanted to not go to that moment. But Meliandra, being Meliandra, she was very vindictive. So she went in for it. The hag, Birchbone, I think her name was, she summoned a bunch of these trees to try to gang up on us. So I had no choice but to defend myself. We almost killed her, but she got away and strided through the trees before we can do anything. And now, I don't know if she can see me in here, but at the very least, she could probably see my sleeping body with her scrying tricks, because she's been scrying on this our whole adventure after we went through that forest. This was back when I first met my friend Chris and Aelith. Aelith was an orc. I think she played some sort of sports. She was in a wheelchair, but she was very strong.
What sort of sport can you play in a wheelchair?
Sports ball.
Sports ball, exactly. But she involved more hitting people. She was very aggressive. She did not slow down because of the wheelchair. In fact, she was faster than me. And she hit people with her axe, and she was very good.
I'm just reminded of kids just going around smashing mailboxes.
Oh, evil kids.
Indeed, don't do that at home, kids. If you do, don't get caught.
Just don't do it. No. I mean, you can burn down an orphanage, but don't smash up mailboxes.
I feel like one's more evil.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Eldon, there's a part of the city where they don't have mailboxes.
Oh no, the kids got to them.
Probably. I mean, I've been there and it's very ran down. Apparently, the people who own the city kind of use this place as the dumping ground. In fact, the structure was very screwy, I suppose. There's like a big cavern.
Is that where you place an orphanage?
No, my orphanage was on an island from the Isles of Lanark to where I'm from. The city is called Eldon. It was still part of the country, the Fourfold Federation. And we went up north past the Fourfold Federation to find a Whoopertingers. But we did find some interesting stuff along the way. There was this giant tree with a temple inside of it. Or maybe not a temple, but it ended up being a research station of a sort. So there was a guardian, but that's the weirdest thing. One moment we were standing at it, preparing to fight it, and then I have a blank memory. Some moments later, I don't remember what happened. My memory is blank from this moment, but it ended up being dead, like on the ground in front of us. I don't know what happened. Something caused my memory to blank when we were fighting it, but whatever had happened, it died. It had a lot of holes in it, some spear-shaped holes.
How could you tell that they were spear-shaped holes?
Like, they seemed about the same size of my magic spears. I mean, I have put a lot of spear-shaped holes in people before.
What was one of your favorite times using that spear?
Every time.
Can we narrow it down a bit, my friend?
One moment, we were in this very same forest that I was talking about in this research station. We had fought numerous strange things, found a lot of corpses still sitting there. It was very abandoned. But deeper in the research station, we found some living spells, whatever that is. There was this living cloud that stunk really bad, and I couldn't breathe. It really hurt. It really hurt. And I wanted to vomit several times. But my spear, somehow, I was able to make contact with the cloud.
Contact with the cloud?
I don't know. The spear just went into it, and it seemed to disperse it a little bit each time I hit it with it. That research station was one of the weirdest places. It turns out that research station was used by people from Telhurst to, from what I'm told, Telhurst is a nation filled with tieflings like me, but not like me. They don't have wings like me or my starry skin like me, but other tieflings were mostly hailed from there. But these people were using this place to develop apocalyptic spells.
They were making their own spells. That's not an easy feat to do.
Evidently, this feat that they tried to do, it didn't work out because everybody was dead when we arrived.
They were trying to make an apocalyptic spell and it sort of worked?
Well, they were more like killed by the other spells that they attempted to make. Like that living cloud that we fought. There's also a living big hand. There was a big glowy hand. It seemed very angry. He just wanted to smash through the glass. So I imagine that these people were killed by their own creations. From that journal that we found, it turned out that they did not complete the apocalyptic spell in time before they went, well, whatever their afterlife is at.
Never a good time with apocalyptic spells.
I'm glad I never saw one. Have you ever been to the stars? I've looked up at the sky, but I've never got to go in there. I've always wanted to go there.
They're a little bit too hot for my taste.
Too hot?
Yeah.
You mean they give off heat?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe the stars are something more to be appreciated.
from a distance.
I heard there's other bodies of, big rocks like the one we're on. I mean, maybe not here. The one I'm on, I guess, out there. I was told that Nyanya has a planet.
Nyan?
Nyanya. She is the Gold Mother, who I may have a direct relation to. Not direct, but just, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Never met my mother.
But she lives on her own planet?
That's what I was told. My father mentioned that a mother traveled out there in Astris.
Do you think you ever get to the stars?
I hope so. One day. I would like to meet my mother yet still. Even if she is a devil.
So when you're done with all this adventuring, what are you planning to do?
You know, I haven't thought about that. It was really early in my life. A lot of things happened within a span of a year. Too many things. I haven't had a lot of time to sort of plan ahead. But what I think I would like to do, after I become strong enough to beat up my own father, I would like to maybe teach art, open an art school, or something like that. It's on the table.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to reach those plans and maybe even reach the stars someday,
I hope so too. Thank you.
of course. Until then, have a good awakening.
He's in my head now. It's in my head now.